YouTube, what is going on? We're back with another video today. Another one. Get used to that because we got a million videos coming out. We dropped a few guides already on a lot of DPSs. We also dropped a video on what units I think you should be building specifically, some best team comps for them, etc., etc. But the DPSs, I feel like we got covered pretty well. Kalkaro, Donjin, Jian. These were the three that I really wanted to cover as soon as possible. I will be doing a Encore DPS very soon. I'm probably going to record that today, and Ling Yang as well. 07 for chicks here. I'm sorry, girly pop. I'm not. I apologize. But I wanted to cover a video on a not DPS character that I think everyone should be building. As I've discussed, the quote unquote meta recommended way you should be playing the game is 1 DPS, 1 sub DPS, and then 1 healer. Mortefi is such a good unit, and if they're not the best sub DPS in the game at the moment, they're maybe number 2. And I genuinely believe every single person, if you have this character, build them. We're gonna go over their kit, their weapons. You know, it's very free to play friendly. The echo set, because there's a little bit of a twist to their echo set as opposed to theirs are normal people, and we'll just go everything. So let's break down his kit first as we start. I do have him RC4 because I wouldn't say a whale per se, you know, but you know what I'm saying. Scales off of attack. Again, you know, go through these. You don't see any other type of damage here. That means they are strictly attack. Basic attacks are nothing crazy. He does his normal, you know what I'm saying? Like his resonance skill is pretty basic. You know, sub DPS, their main goal is to get on field, get as much DPS out of themselves as possible, but while also buffing the next person they're going to swap to. So launch of flashing lightning of flames forward, dealing fusion damage. Dope. Really nothing too crazy. We'll go into the trial and, you know, the tutorial, and I'll show you everything. His Forte circuit. Normally I redo these whole things and I break this down. I'm just going to give you the basic TLDR real quick. Get his Forte circuit full, and once you get his Forte circuit full, his skill will do more damage. So you could skill when his Forte circuit's not full, but it's highly recommended that you don't do that and you skill when you get his Forte circuit up. That way he does much more damage, and it can hold up to 100 annoyance. How do you get annoyance? All you have to do is just play, you know, just fight with him. Hit normal attacks, heavy attacks, you know, all that stuff. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. And then obviously the Forte circuit will be considered as resonance skill damage, so that's also important. You want to update his resonance skill. The resonance skill will probably take priority over the updates. Now his Forte circuit upgrade, after casting resonance skill Passionate Variation, the damage of the resonance skill Fury Fugue will be increased by 25% for 8 seconds. Passionate Variation is not the one that's full. So Passionate Variation is simply doing his skill without it being full. But once you cast that one, the damage of the resonance skill Fury Fuse, which is when his Forte circuit is 100%, that gets a 25%, that increases the damage for 25%. It's a pretty big buff for the damage, you know what I'm saying? And it's very easy to refill this back up again. All you have to do is just attack with him. So really good stuff there. And then during Resonance Liberation, Burning Rhapsody, each hit of Resonance Liberation Marcato will increase the next damage of the next Resonance Liberation Marcato by 1.5%, which can be triggered once every 0.35 seconds, stacking up to 50 times. This effect will be reset after Resonance Liberation Burning Rhapsody is end. Translation: this homie's burst is busted. When you burst with him, it starts doing coordinated attacks with you for whoever is on field, whether it's him, Jian, whoever it may be. So this is buffing his coordinated attacks. As I stated before, if you play Genshin, he's pretty much Zincho or Yelan. You can burst with him, swap off, and those coordinated attacks that occur, right? So with each hit of that coordinated attack, you're buffing it even more, and then the buff goes even higher and higher and can be stacked up to 50 times. It's a little ridiculous. It's insane. It's insane. And then for the burst, which we kind of touched on already, he's gonna actually activate his ultimate, and then these coordinated attacks, with every normal attack it'll be coordinated hits by 1, but every heavy attack there will be coordinated hits of 2. So you know, you would like to heavy attack with him to get 2 Mercado attacks to fire, but normal attacks work as well. It's really not a big deal. And then his intro skill is basic stuff, attack the target, dealing fusion damage. His outro skill is very good as well. Very, very good as well. And this is why he's recommended so well with people like Jian, like Kakaro, things like that. Is the next character gains 38% heavy attack damage deepen for 14 seconds until they are swapped off the field. So with Jian, again, you know, we'll go to rotations in a minute in his best optimal teams, but if you get his Concerto energy, you do his burst, you then swap to Jian, not only are you giving Jian the actual coordinated attack from the burst, but you're giving him a 38% heavy attack damage, and when Jian bursts, all of his normal attacks get turned into heavy attacks. So you're pretty much buffing the whole thing. It's a massive buff and it works. Now, it works better with someone like him, Kalkuro, Donjin, you know, but it's really great. Honestly, this dude is just a solid unit all around. Before we get to the gameplay, let's go over the weapons. So the great thing about this homie, I'm poor. I have no weapons. I have no good weapons. But the great thing about him is that his best in slot is 100% free to play friendly. All you have to do is actually play the video game or wish for it. So with this is his best weapon, the Static Mist. His weapon's busted. It gives crit rate and attack and increases energy regen by 12.8%. When outro skill is released, increase the switching in Resonator's attack by 10%, stacking up to 1 time. So on top of all of the other buffs and the coordinated attacks you're going to get if you have his ult up, when you swap out to your main DPS, you're giving them even more attack, bro. Even more on top of the fact that this has crit rate, so he'll be hitting some more crits, you know, because you need crit rate desperately in this game. Desperately need crit rate, which is insane, but that's for a different video. Yeah, I mean, this is insane. All you have to do is play the game, bro. Focus for this. If you don't want to focus for it and you want to grind, eventually when you hit Union level 45, they'll give you a free version as well. But you can get it. It's not like a horrible process. They've given you so many free wishes already. Battle Pass weapon is all right. When hitting a target with basic or heavy attacks, increases the resonance skill damage by 7%, stacking up to 3 times. This effect can last for 10 seconds. This isn't really made for him. This is really more for the role of, again, a main DPS pistol user. Not really anything too special. I would not recommend it. I mean, double attack isn't bad, but, you know, it's whatever. Now, the craftable weapon, as well as a double attack, when Resonator takes no damage, increases attack by 6% every 5 seconds, stacking up to 2 times. No, I wouldn't recommend this either. I don't think this is very strong for a homie. It's really just not that great. You know, you do have the blue craftable, which increases resonance skill damage by 12%, which isn't bad because that is going to give you more overall damage with Mortefi. And you do want to get his resonance skill out before you swap, just so that way you can optimize as much damage as possible with the least amount of field time. So it's not the worst option ever, but it's still not very good. Now I don't have this weapon yet, but the Condense is very good. When resonance skill is released, restores concerto energy by 8. This effect can be triggered once every 20 seconds. Obviously, this is good for the fact that, A, you get energy regen, but it also helps you get more concerto energy, which assists you in pretty much just getting off the field as soon as possible to give that buff to your incoming DPS. So Condense is very good. That 5-star is very good. Those are really the 2 weapons I'm looking at right here. Everything else I feel like is kind of mid and not really for him. If you feel like I looked over a weapon, let me know. But after everything I've looked at, I think these are the only really good ones. Echo sets. Here's the thing. Normally, I say the rule of thumb is you want to match the echo set with your character's damage type. So, for example, you know, hypothetically, Mortefi should have fusion because he's a fusion type. No. This time, it's different. This time, this is the echo set you want to be going for. We want to be going for Moonlit Clouds. The reason why you want to go for Moonlit Clouds is it gives you more energy, but after using an outro skill, increases the attack of the next Resonator by 22.5% for 15 seconds. I'm not doing the math. I ain't with spreadsheet homies, but I'll tell you this. When you get your outro skill giving you 22.5% extra attack on your main character, on top of the 38% buff from his outro on the heavy attacks, on top of the fact that you have that other free-to-play weapon on top of it, like, bro, you're doing damage, my guy. You're doing damage. The fusion is not bad. It's not horrible. Fusion damage plus 10 and fusion damage plus 30% for 15 seconds after releasing a resonant skill. Problem is, this is not good for his sub DPS mode. Or maybe, I won't say it's not good, but it's not as optimal for buffing your main DPS. Now, if you wanted to make Mortefi a main DPS, because you 100% can, because his coordinated attacks will still work with himself, by all means, this is fine, and this can work without a doubt, but I don't recommend it. Moonlit Clouds is going to be his best in slot for when he is actually on field buffing other units. So that's what you want to go with. So now the best echo that you could put in the main slot is going to be the Imperadence Heron. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's whatever. Bear with me for a minute, because I know it says it gives you havoc damage, but that's not what we're here for. But transform into the Heron to fly up and smack down, dealing 223.22% havoc damage. Long press to stay as Imperadence Heron continuously spit flames, each attack dealing 40.05% havoc damage. This is cool. We're not really here for this part. Once the initial attack lands on the enemy, the current character regains 10 resonance energy. If the character uses their outro skill within the next 15 seconds, the next character's damage will be boosted by 12% for 15 seconds. So what you're really here for is that end part, okay? You want to use this Echo. Then after that, hit that ultra skill as soon as possible. You know, you get the attack boost 12% here. The actual boost from the set itself, from his actual outro skill. Do you see why I'm saying this homie has the potential to be the best sub DPS in the game? He is going to be supplying such an ungodly amount of buffs. I could see someone like Sanhua physically on field doing way more damage than him. Way more damage. And she gives very good buffs as well. But to me, this buffing is more valuable to me personally. That's just me. But that's going to be the main Echo you want to use. Substats are pretty basic. Crit rate, crit damage, attack, resistance liberation damage, energy regen, if I didn't say that already. Nothing too crazy here. Really basic stuff. Just got to get lucky. And now let's go over team comps. So I truly believe that
Tracking me out of my lab for this.
he will be the best sub DPS. I love you, daddy.
You better have a good reason.
Who the fuck? I really think Verena and Mortefi are going to be tied together as the best two supports in the game, period, with no matter who you want to put. You could put Kalkro. You could put Donjin. You could put Havoc MC. You could put Jinyan. If you really wanted to make someone else, you could put Chixia. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can work with a lot of people. Now, there will be some other better team comps. Let's say, for example, if you're using like Lang Yang, you know, Sanhua would definitely probably work better. Mortefi, Verena, whoever you want to put there. Nothing too crazy out of pocket. Nothing where it's like groundbreaking material that we haven't covered previously. But I do think he deserves to have his own video. That way you can reference it to say, okay, what should I be building on him? Because I've had some people come in and be confused on the Echo sets you should be using. Throw us into the trial real quick just so you can see what he actually looks like in action. I'm actually going to use Gion's trial. So this is also a very good team again, by Gian says. So look at the skill without the full resonance liberation. It's just that. We did about 704 there, right?
As you wish.
1,279. Big damage buff there. Big damage buff. That is not the proper Echo, but it's okay. It's whatever. So we're going to get his Concerto up. I'm going to do this. We're going to cast his ult. We're then going to swap to Gian. And then now we're going to get these coordinated attacks. So if you see, real quick, I'm going to do a normal attack. That's one coordinated. If I do a heavy attack, you see, you're going to get multiple. So very simple, very straight to the point, and just overall great buffing. Bam. More damage. We're going to get back his resonance. We're going to get back his Forte Circuit very quickly already. We already have his actual resonance liberation up. Okay. We'll get this up. I want to hit you with that. I'll cast this. We'll swap here. Now I will do this with Gian. Now every single one of Gion's attacks are considered heavy attacks. And if they didn't have died right there, we'd have been going crazy. That is Mortefi in a nutshell. Build this homie. Build him. Just do it. You know, he's up there. Okay? He works with... Anyone can work with anyone, but he works with everyone. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what you think. I love you. Mwah. I'll see you in the next one.